video, we're going to perform the black snake experiment. For this experiment, we are going to use some materials. We're going to need 4 grams of sugar or sucrose, 1 gram of sodium bicarbonate, and 20 milliliters of ethanol. And I will be using a graduated cylinder to measure out the exact amount. It can be approximate, but we will be aiming for 20 milliliters. We'll also need a sand bath, and this will act as a thermal insulator for our reaction. Next, we're going to need a scale to measure out our solid materials and 2 weighing boats. If we're working with powdered sugar, then we don't need this, but if we're using a regular crystal sugar, then we will also need a mortar and pestle. And to scrape it out of the mortar and pestle, I will be using a scrupula. So let's get started with our measurements. First, I will turn on my scale, place a weighing boat on top, tare it, and measure 4 grams of sucrose. I have exactly 4.00 grams of sucrose. I will transfer this into my mortar and pestle. Next, I will weigh out 1 gram of my sodium bicarbonate. And I have exactly 1.00 grams of sodium bicarbonate. I will also pour this into my mortar and pestle. Set my scale aside. And I will grind it together until it results in a fine white powder. This is powdery enough, so we can move on to the next portion of our experiment. We take our ethanol and we measure out 20 milliliters of it. I have just a little bit less. It is 19.0 milliliters. So then I will add my ethanol into my sand. And I will focus it mostly in the area where I will place my sugar and sodium bicarbonate mixture. Next, I am going to transfer with my scrupula the contents of my mortar and pestle. When all my contents have successfully been transferred, it is time to start burning. So for this, you may use a lighter, as I am using today, but you could also use a match. It is going to start with relative ease. So be careful. And once it's started, take a step back and observe. When the flames are fully extinguished and there is no fire in sight, you can feel free to get close and pick up your creation. There are a couple things that can be done with this. If you know the amount of material you started with, you can take your snake and place it on a scale and weigh it to determine whether the burning added or removed some of your components from the sample. You can estimate how much mass was lost or gained in the process. And the other thing that you could consider is the color of your starting materials, the components of your starting materials, and then the color of your product. Which element in the content of your starting materials could be responsible for the color of your creation?